Welcome, everybody. It's FOMC day. It's 4th and 15. We're facing a full court press. So we got to bring in the team to figure out what the hell is going on today. There's been a lot of interesting happening. President Trump says he wants no more quarterly earnings. He wants twice-a-year earnings. Elon Musk announced a huge Tesla buyback. That was excellent for me and my 5 shares. So it's time to party. How is everybody doing today?
Doing great. Every day that I think the yen might be topping out, or the China stocks, they gap up. So that's been doing really well, and Tesla's been doing well. So doing great, but the day trading is a bit slow. That's for sure.
Okay, what do you like? So how do you define slow?
Like there's the gaps at the open, but then after the open, things just slow down. There's like no patterns, nothing moving. Hard to find anything that will produce any follow through. So that's what I mean.
Okay. All right. So let us. So of course, everyone knows it is FOMC day. It seems like the universe is expecting a 25 basis point cut, and perhaps some dovish commentary from our friend Jerry Powell. So let's throw it out. Yes, I call him Jerry. He's a personal friend of mine. Okay. So I feel like I have to ask the same stupid question every week, which is like, okay, is this it? Is it time for a pullback? So I'll just throw the question out to everybody to start. Like, what is your sense of the action out there right now?
I'm wildly bearish, Mike. I'm wildly bearish. I'm back. I'm back. I am as bearish as I've been right now since last February, right before we actually broke down. I know that the S&P and NASDAQ technicals and especially IWM technicals are honestly still fully intact. But I'm going to steal a quote from Scott Rubner from Citadel from his research note yesterday, and that quote is, "If we can go down a little, we could go down a lot." And that's exactly what I think right now. I think if we start to go down, if we start to sell, we sell a lot. It's all right for it right now from a market dynamic perspective. Once we can get through this week and through OPEX and get rid of the gamma. Corporate buybacks are in their blackout period. Systematic funds got nothing left to buy. If we can trigger anything to the downside, it's going to feed on itself, I think, very viciously. The VIX will spike. But it's an if-then statement. If we can go down a little, then I think we go down a lot. But can we go down a little? The answer has been no. We haven't gone down a little in months. We haven't had a 2% down day in like 100+ days. We haven't had more than like 2 down days in a row since the April bottom. And finally, the flow of funds are there for it right as we go into the most seasonally weak 2-week period of the year. And the market is just squeezing these hedge funds in. They're the only people who haven't been buying. And all of a sudden, their sentiment's becoming more bullish and they're finally buying. And as we all know, the hedge funds are the dumb money now. So they're buying last. It's over. I'll see you in mid to late October when we can start buying for the end of the year rally.
So Derrick, what is this going down thing you keep talking about? It rings a bell, but I just don't know what that means. Can you define it for the
Let me tell you, when we actually go down, people don't even remember what it means. We're so short-term focused. People don't even remember what it means for a market to go down anymore. They don't even know what to do. Everybody's so programmed into, oh my God, the SPY's just dropped 50 cents. I better buy the dip because it's going to be gone if I don't. That they're going to try to buy that dip when the S&P goes down by like 20 cents and just get run over when the systematic flow of funds selling comes in and forced liquidations are occurring.
You're such a conspiracy nut. You also believe in the Anunnaki and the hollow moon theory. Bro, come on. We're not allowed to go down.
I believe in the Sam Squanch. That's about it.
Okay, again, we'll throw the question out to the audience. Are you bullish on stocks? Type 11 for yes, type 22 for no. Our good Frank Tucci is telling us I was feeling pretty good and positive until now.
Oh, guys.
But I've warned you guys, I've warned everybody on this program again and again, you cannot bet against America. No down days, that sounds good to me.
Me too.
It just sets you up for the rally into the end of the year, though. So if anything, that's how you get new highs that are more sustainable. You got to wash people out sometimes.
I don't see how we go down a lot. It's cute what you said. If it goes down a little, it can go down a lot. I just don't see it happening. I see a pullback maybe to on the Qs to 575, on the SPY maybe to 650, 645, but I don't see a big drop. But hey, I don't know. We'll see.
The real spot that I'm paying attention to, in all seriousness, is if SPX can get back down to 6,400, which I know is very far away, then we're reversing at that point, and it's going to just trigger even further selling. So the question to me isn't not are we going to get a dip? It's how big that dip is and how well it can feed on itself. And if we start seeing an increase in realized volatility and a spike in the VIX, funds are so short the VIX right now, they're going to get squeezed higher. It's going to create forced selling. You start seeing plus 1% moves in the market again, minus 1% moves in the market again. It's going to just trigger even more selling. The systematic funds are long at the 99.9 percentile right now. Is pretty much only one way that they can go. And again, it's an if-then statement, because this market continues to grind higher and the trend is your friend and all that fun stuff. But if you start to lose some support levels and you trigger further downside selling, then I think we could see some real volatility second half of September through October.
But what about the tariffs? Aren't they bringing in enough money to offset the deficit? And don't you think that's going to shore up the economy?
Right out of your pocket. I mean, look, core inflation. I mean, this is another concern of mine. I think it's a later concern. We just saw core inflation on the CPI tick up to 3.1%. It's slowly rising. It is slowly rising. It's not quick. But when you listen to a lot of the companies' earnings reports, they're going to be continuing to increase prices. And what does cutting the rate do when the Fed starts cutting rates? It stimulates the economy, but it stimulates the economy and drives further inflation. It's not impossible if we cut too far too fast that we're seeing inflation back at 5% in 2026, which might be the better situation, because otherwise the employment situation is going to continue to crumble. I'll tell you, I'm talking about a pullback. I'm not talking about like a return of a major bear market. I'm talking about a pullback after the SPY just went from 480 to 660 with basically not a single pullback the entire way. I'm talking a pullback.
What's a pullback?
What is a pullback? Seriously, is that even allowed?
Five.
Come on, man.
5 to 10% in that range pullback in the S&P. The only way that becomes a real bear market is if you see a further deterioration in the employment situation and you start to lose the retail bid. Like, the employment situation is number one, and that's why you're seeing the economy and the stock market stretch away from each other right now. But that's because the stock market is forward looking and it's saying, all right, Fed cuts are coming, and that is going to have a effect of stimulating the stock market. But if that employment situation starts getting a little bit out of hand, then you lose the retail bid. You lose the retail bid and forget it.
I think I want to address something our good friend Frank Tucci, who I guess is the MVB today. So this guy in Wall Street is saying if it goes down a little, it could go down a lot. Like, what kind of nonsense bullshit is that? Like, if we could say things like that out loud, like Goldman Sachs should be hiring me, because like, can't we just say on the flip side of that, if it goes up a little, it can go up a lot? Like,
no, it's gone up a lot already.
So you have to understand the premise of the data that he's looking at when he's saying that. What I just gave you is the conclusion. I didn't give you the full threshold of the data, but the data comes from an understanding of what has become really one of the number one drivers of this market, which is systematic positioning in it. And it's what caused us to fail back in February. It's what caused the degree of the selling that we had through that March and early April period. It was a systematic unwinding. So when you look at the data and you can understand where and how and when an unwinding has to occur, that's where it comes from. where if you can sell a little bit, it just triggers all of this forced selling from, you can just model it, right? It's systematic. It's not discretionary. It's not me making decisions on if I want to buy something at some price. It is a rules-based approach that is moving billions, hundreds of billions of dollars worth of stock and index futures.
So should I sell my positions now? What
Except
should
for
I do
Tesla.
here?
All right. We absolutely should talk about Tesla, because I do have a question. Like,
before we do that, can I just say how much I missed Derrick the Bear? It's amazing. I'm ready to grab my hand grenades, my oxygen antibacterial mask, get my survival food ready in the bunker with my glow sticks. I love it, and I think you're definitely right, Derrick. I warned my room this Sunday. Get ready for a pullback. This market is structurally weak, and they're probably going to sell the news on the FOMC.
I don't know if Derrick is right or not, but for sure, I love the Derrick
It's
round.
amazing. I love it. Keep it up, man.
okay, so all right, so we're gonna have a little bit of a. We do have to bring up Tesla. The great Elon Musk announced a buyback. He said he's gonna actually focus on his job. It looks like he's done with the Orange Man in the White House. So I just want to throw a question out to the audience and also to our panel here. So is Tesla, is it a great stock, or is it the greatest stock? So Sami, is it great or greatest?
No comments. I would let Derrick talk about it.
All right, JR, how about you? Sami doesn't have the courage to answer today. JR, is it great or the greatest?
Look,
Derrick
I've been Tesla long since 2015.
Is it great or greatest?
What is this, a Senate confirmation hearing? Let me talk.
All right, so it sounds like you don't want to answer the question. Is it a great stock or is it the greatest?
Just pick anything, and let's hear
It's the
what Derrick
greatest.
says.
It's the greatest. Let's go with the
It's
greatest.
the greatest. What about Derrick? What do you think,
All right,
Derrick?
Derrick, is it great or is it the greatest?
Great. I can't put the EST on it, but it's great. I mean, look, I fundamentally think that this company makes absolutely zero freaking sense at all, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We had been discussing for weeks the massive wedge that this name was building, and it's just a matter of which way does the wedge break. If the wedge breaks up, buy it. Don't tell me about how, Elon is a moron Nazi. Don't tell me about it's the robot business that doesn't exist yet. Don't tell me about how the self-driving cars, we just saw the headline, the self-driving cars drive you, they don't work for trains. So when there's a train crossing, you just get hit by the train. Don't tell me about any of that bearish stuff. Look at the technicals. The technicals are phenomenal. They broke out. We called out a long through 355 on the day that the break occurred, and it went. And then when they gapped it up on the third day on the news that Elon was actually coming in and buying his stock, I was shorting it pre-market at 430. And that was a great trade because the gap up on that news was just too much too fast, and was able to catch almost $30 of downside on an intraday trade in a very short period of time. When these stocks are moving, it creates a lot of opportunity. But what I was telling my team, even as I was shorting that thing pre-market in the 425 to 430 zone on the day that it bounced, is this is a short-term trade, and you want to buy dips in it. You want to buy bull flags in it. You want to buy, bullish consolidation patterns of any sort in this thing until and unless the technicals show you that they're failing and there's no indication that's going to happen. It just got a little bit ahead of itself on that massive day three gap up that made for a cute little short, and now you can just look for the next opportunity to buy. But I think it's still too early. If you're not already in it, if you're already in it, great. Let it run. It could keep having momentum. But the measured move on that pattern is back to all-time highs. It's 480, it's 490, and it can easily see those prices again. And I'm not going to just be a stubborn jerk because I think that the business makes no sense. It shows every indication that it's going to continue higher, and you should be long the name. I would just caveat that if the market has the pullback that I think it's going to have, then it might struggle a little bit with its continuation. But otherwise, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that Tesla is now the 6th best Mag 7 stock of 2025. And if that doesn't make it the greatest, I don't know what does. Okay, all right. So back to the FOMC and kind of the broader market environment. Is everybody on here? Are all of you guys expecting a sell the news today?
Not really, because we already sold the news that the market has been selling off. If we had a pop today, then absolutely I would have expected to sell the news event. But now it's not as clear because the market has been selling off, except for the IWM, which looks actually really good higher. So to me, it's not an easy call. Again, if the Qs and the SPY popped this morning, then I would have said, yeah, we're already extended, and with this pop, that's the Fed rate cut is going to be baked in. But now it's not as easy of a call, at least not for me. What do you guys think?
I think it depends on the S&P and the dot plot. I think that's what that's the factor the market really can't.
No, but I mean, based on the market right now, are you expecting a sell-off or a rally?
I'm expecting a sell-off.
I think that the risk is to the downside also, but it definitely depends on what he says. If we get a 25 basis point cut with dovish language, we probably see an initial move higher on that, but I don't think it'll be able to be sustained. And then maybe we just kind of go sideways and choppy, and then maybe roll down a little bit next week when we get through OPEX. If we get a 25 basis point cut coupled with more neutral to hawkish language, then I think that they sell this down, and then that marks a real top for probably a month.
What's difficult about it is the market is extended. The SPY and the Qs on the daily chart, it went almost vertical. So I was expecting that we would get a sell the news event today if the market had continued to be bullish, but the market already sold off. So it's not as easy of a call anymore.
Yeah, but we're calling the S&P down 0.17% a sell-off these days, which basically is a sell-off. I know the Qs are weaker, but the average stock in the market is green today. The equal-weighted S&P is green today. If the only reason why anything is down and the Nasdaq is down is because of the China NVDA news impacting the AI trade. So right. It's really just a handful of heavily market cap weighted stocks that are pulling the Nasdaq down a little bit more specific. So I don't think it's much of a dip. But I saw what you saw, which is that this market looked like it was really starting to go parabolic at the close, like a day or so ago. It hasn't really continued, but that was moving higher with the VIX moving higher as well, which sometimes that's just hedging in front of an event, but other times it's a divergence that's really worth noting.
It's not that's not the only divergence. If you actually the profile of the market, we've got weak highs all over the place, an incredibly thin structure going all the way up. Meaning if you look at the volume profile, the market profile of the up moves, it's thin air, man. And the problem with that is when it goes up fast like that, the drops are brutal. Which is why I've been warning my traders, guys. Easy come, easy go. Okay. These moves have been floating higher, grinding higher on low volumes with major divergences and extremely weak internals. Okay, and when that happens, the pullbacks are very fast and violent. So in terms of the actual profile of the market, there's a lot of potential for a 5 to 10% pullback that will definitely be welcome and put some hair in our chests as traders. It'll be great, but it's something we just need to be aware of as a possibility. I mean, ultimately, I could care less whether it goes up or down. As long as it moves, I'm happy, but we need to map that contingency out well.
Don't care whether it goes up or down. That's crazy. This is America. We go up. We don't go down. Okay. All right. So I want to flip the question around to what could go right? What could set off a huge rally? Because it does seem like the entire universe is a little skittish right now. I mean, regardless of how many stocks have gone crazy in the last few weeks.
A more dovish than expected SEP and dot plot will send this market rocketing higher. We're going to get shot out of a cannon, which is why I'm saying it's all about the SEP today.
Okay. All right. Are there any specific trades you guys have on that are specific to the Fed announcement today?
Yeah, we've got I just bought Caterpillar 4 minutes ago, for example.
Okay, why Caterpillar?
well, obviously it's a housing related construction stock, and the industrials are strong ahead of the cut. So it's a big heavy name, but I have a target of like $580 on the name on CAT, and it's currently, last I checked a second ago, it's trading at $448. So
Okay, perfect, beautiful. Caterpillar, nice big heavy American stock. All right, how about Sami or you, Derrick? Do you have anything on specifically? We'll get to like favorite ideas and stuff later, but like, do you guys have anything on specifically for this FOMC report?
I don't trade like that. I just trade based on the technicals and based on the picture. See, I don't want to put myself out as smart enough to try and predict what the market will do or what Jerome Powell is going to say, and therefore I should have this stock or that stock. I just look at the picture and I let the chart do the talking. And so I have a bunch of positions, but I don't have anything specifically with FOMC in mind.
Okay, now Derrick, you made clear you are bearish going into this report. Is there anything specifically you put on because you think it'll do well in the wake of the FOMC?
So I've been trying to short, like, I've been kind of describing it as two subsets of stock. Basically names that I'm either seeing relative weakness in recently or names that I'm seeing more extreme upside extension in. I'm having more success with the names that I've already put on that are relatively weak. I mean, I've kind of been positioned for this Fed move for the last like couple of days now. But Palantir short, NVIDIA short, TQQQ short. I've got UPRO short. The Palantir and NVIDIA, I actually view as relatively weak names right now. You're seeing the S&P and the NASDAQ make constant new all-time highs. Those names have not been able to do that. The charts did improve a little bit, but I feel like they improved because of the market, almost in spite of the market. And now NVIDIA with the news this morning is back to looking, I think, pretty bad. And Palantir maybe is giving us a bigger lower high right now on the bigger picture. I feel like I get confirmation on that below like the 160 to 163 area. So I like that short. I'm also looking at some of these names that are actually pretty good companies that trade at cheap valuations, but have just had insane moves for how they typically trade. Micron, which I don't currently have a position on, the move in that in September has been crazy. WDC, which I am currently short. Seagate at STX, just an incredible move in September. That thing extended, shorted that off, gave a nice little doji yesterday. So there's a lot of extension there. And the other one that won't budge, but I started to short is SanDisk, SNDK. Just incredible moves higher. These names tend to not really be momentum style stocks, but they've given momentum style moves. So I think that, market pullback happens and SanDisk could pull back to 80 and still be very, very healthy. WDC could pull back to $93, $94 and still be very healthy. STX could pull back to $195 and still be really healthy. So I'm looking for a combination of extension pullbacks and also weakness continuation. And I've got trades on that represent kind of both sides of that. So far, that going after what's been weaker has been better and easier. But market pullback happens and they'll all pay me.
Yeah, SanDisk, I'm stocking it also, but it just is not ready. Needs to take out at least the prior day's low. So maybe under yesterday's low would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like all of those 90s storage names have all made a huge comeback this year. They're all
floppy disks, man. Floppy disks are back.
It is wild out there. Okay, all right. So I feel like this whole live stream, this is getting friggin' boring, and I'm tempted to cut it off. So we need to shake things up a little bit. Okay, so we need a little debate. Okay, so what is the country on earth that puts out the best food? You can only pick one. I'll give you guys a minute to think about it, and I'm in a particular mood today. So
I got my answer.
I'm going to say it's the Dominican Republic because of the mood I'm in today. I need that chicken, and I need it bad. And tostones and all that would also be wonderful. So I'm going with the Dominican Republic. Eddie in the chat is telling us Vietnam. Richard, Mexican. Frank is with Italy. Only way. What do you mean? Oh, come on. I can ban you from this whole damn thing. Little Curbster, Republic of JR. Okay, Derrick, I know you have an opinion. What do you think?
America is number one because we are a country of immigrants. So therefore, we have the best food from every country. You want that Dominican food? Go get it. You want that delicious hummus, that Middle Eastern food? Go get it. You want that Asian food? Go get it. We have the best of it all, and it's all American because we've all brought it from everywhere in the world. Go get it. You think you call yourself a patriot, saying you need to stocks are going to go up forever because America, but you're not even giving America the credit for the best food. See how it is.
I think Mike meant other than America, right, Mike?
No, America is absolutely a valid choice. I'm just surprised that Derrick, taking on this far right MAGA persona where America is great and wonderful countries like the Dominican Republic are awful. So I completely object to Derrick's answer. He should have more respect for our friends around the world. Okay, Sami, what do you think?
I agree with Derrick, but I mean, I'm told the food in Japan, my favorite food is Japanese. That's just my favorite food. And I'm told, I mean, I just went to a wedding this past weekend and people started talking about the food in Japan, and they said, "Oh my God, it's like incredible." So I'd love to go there and check out the food, but I'm sure it's really good.
Okay, JR, are you going with America also? I know you like big dead cows on the plate, so.
I got answer jacked again by Derrick. Thank you very much, sir. Actually, I was going to get a little bit more specific than America. I was going to say the Great Republic of Flushing, Queens. You can get literally anything you want within, 3 square miles. It's the best food ever, whatever you want.
Okay, so in effect, JR also says America. Jeff Foster is saying American ingredients suck, industrialized, nutritionless, GMO, dead. Well, nobody's perfect.
Wrong.
Yeah, nobody said we're perfect.
We're far from it.
No, we're not perfect. America we are the absolute best at everything, and we are also the worst. And that's why it's so interesting to live here. Okay, moving on. All right, now, so I've decided for the time being I'm going to keep my 5 shares of Tesla since things are going so well over there. But yes, ideas. And let's just say for the next month, everyone's favorite ideas. And of course, if you don't have them, it's fine because we do have a big binary event in front of us. Some of us might want to wait and see. But who wants to step up and name some ideas they like?
I mean, a lot of the ideas that I mentioned the last couple of weeks, China, Tesla, they're already gone for the most part. But I think I'm liking Roku on the monthly chart a lot. I'm not in it yet, but I'm liking Roku. There's another stock that I'm in. It's called IT. That looks pretty good on the monthly and the weekly. I don't know if it's 100% ready yet to go, but I like IT. I like Roku. Ring Central never seems to work, along with Zoom. Those two don't work, the RNG and the ZM, but those two look pretty good on the monthly. So there's 4 ideas: IT, Roku, RNG, and Zoom. Longer term plays. But honestly, the best place has been the China stocks or Tesla. And I have a bunch of those. They're in the newsletter. The PZ, BABA, I have the Yen, the CWeb, the WB. So there's a bunch of them.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sami. Sami, I know you did have a few winners in Zoom, so I don't know what you're talking about there. Okay, JR or Derrick, who wants to step up?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of gave you my names already on what I'm looking for with the last question, just going into the Fed, what I have. And then after the Fed, it's going to be a full reevaluation of where we are by Tuesday of next week, I want to say. So, it's what I said. short NVIDIA, short Palantir on the weakness. I'm short the indexes for the pullback. I'm short some of these extended stocks. And, I got a lot of shorts on.
Okay. JR, how about you?
Sure, I'm sharing my charts. I can
All right, I will
go
bring
over a
them up.
bunch of stuff I got on deck. All right. I got Antero Midstream. It's been building a base since May. You got inverse head and shoulders there at the end of a trend. I'm liking it through 1884 for a move to 22. TTMI name cracks me up, and we had a very strong uptrend from the April lows here, consolidating on pretty decent technicals. I'm looking for $80. Upwork, love this base. I like it through 1814 to 29. PJT, you can tell I'm an upper right-hand side of the chart kind of guy. Through 189.37, I'm looking for like 240 on this. This looks fantastic. Let me look at the strength of this uptrend. Absolutely gorgeous. Carlyle Group got away from me this morning. I had it for a buy setup off this minor consolidation that potential sale news. I'm looking to buy it back into the 21. AFRM, I know, bear with me. I can feel you guys judging me already. So it came in, it got faded off the open, held anchored VU up to 21. In a couple of weeks, I like the weekly buy setup, and then add to 100. YOU, already triggered. Amphenol. Okay. So Amphenol, we had in our swing trading service a buy stop to 113.80. I still like the secondary entry off of 123 on the weekly. Really, really strong chart. I know it looks a little overextended on the monthly, but I think this guy has a good 30, 40 points left. BVN, this one needs some more time. Caterpillar, we went long today. Bank of New York Mellon Corporation. Now, most of the time, I feel like hell is a place where you're only allowed to trade the banks, but this thing looks fantastic. I'm looking for a base to mature here, come back into the 5 SMA on the weekly. I'll start accumulating it around 103, 104, add through 106.57 for a move to 130. BDTR, it's consolidating near a buy zone here. I like it to 25. IonQ, this mother got away from me. I had a buy zone at $42 a week ago, went to lunch, and never looked back. MOD, manufacturing, I like it through 154 to 222.79. Look at this uptrend since 2023. Absolutely gorgeous base and minor reaccumulative structure. Care Trust REIT, I like it to 34.95 to 43. EMRZ, it's a newer base. A lot of these IPO bases have been exploding. So 56.29 to 65.50. MyX, we took that one yesterday already. NXT isn't ready to go. All right, Tempest AI. This one's probably going to need a couple more weeks. I need to see absorption of the 89.60s off a prolonged weekly base. I don't know. I feel like 2-3 more weeks here. As long as we hold the 85s and let the 21 catch up, the 21 EMA catch up, I see a really, really nice break of 91.50 to 146. So that's what I'm looking at.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you,
Mike,
JR.
I just scanned the China stocks, and from the China stocks, another position that I just called a couple days ago that hasn't gotten going yet is LU. So actually you're showing, okay, there's my charts. So check this out. This is looking pretty nice if you want a lower price stock that's pretty liquid also. So, and it's a China stock that just, I called it on this day, so 2 days ago at 07, 06, 306. So it's not too far from the entry. Everything else is way too far. Weekly looks nice. Monthly looks incredible. I don't know if it's going to follow through. I hope it does. But the LU, I also bought just a little bit of the KC today. So there's another China stock that I like higher. Look at the weekly on this one. Looks pretty nice. Ideally, the ideal entry would have been down here, not up here, but I think it's okay. So small amount with a stop under $15. But right now the LU looks good. The YMM is really bullish also from the China stocks. The rest of them for now, they need a pullback. BABA we're in, the BZ doesn't even need a pullback. Baidu, I think, was a novice gap today, needs a pullback. So a lot of them let's take a look at the BZAN. So BZAN looks pretty good on the monthly, but the daily doesn't look so good. But BZAN is nice on the monthly. The WB, if you can figure out a way in it, we're already in it, so it's a little late, but it's not too late. These two, the BZAN and WB on the monthly, look good. Here's the 4 that I mentioned earlier, the Zoom. That looks pretty nice on the monthly. The Ring, not as nice. And then the Roku also on the monthly looks good too. But the Zoom actually out of the 3 looks the best. On the daily, I like the IT long. On the daily, weekly, monthly. So that's a nice weekly. As long as you put your stop under the bottoming tail, I think we'll see 360 on it, 325 or so on the IT. We'll see. Those are some of the ideas that I'm watching.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining us. And obviously, everybody out there knows what happens in 80 minutes. There are actually some people in the chat asking what time the Fed is. And yes, it is at 2 p.m. And then Powell comes on to make trouble at 2:30. So good luck. Enjoy yourselves. Have some fun. And have a wonderful day. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.